All right, questions for Caleb and Keshad?
The announcement party, everything like that, seeing all the Wildcat fans out there and being a part of it and learning your path, just kind of take me through that last 24 hours and starting to get ready for this.
Oh, it was a great experience. Just seeing, them there for us and supporting us. They've been supporting us all season, and it was a great showing. And so I think it was an exciting moment for us to start this new journey, new season. And so I think we're all ready to go, and like I said, we're excited.
That extra day usually, Arizona programs that you have come from, San Diego State and North Carolina, you're playing in that championship game, but yeah, that extra day of rest. Tommy kind of talked about giving the reset and all that. How did that feel to have that opportunity to, although you want to play in the championship game, have that extra day of kind of, getting your mindset switched to the NCAA tournament?
Of course, we want to be playing for the Pac-12 tournament championship, but things happen, so we just got to use things to our advantage. Getting that extra rest, getting the rest from Saturday and Sunday, having those 2 days to just get our mind back and reset, and start back from square one. It's a whole new season coming up.
Well, what did you guys think about the draw? Do you guys look at the brackets, or just Long Beach State? What did you think about the potential road you have?
We just take it one game at a time. We focus on Long Beach State right now, not looking too far ahead to any other games, and so I think we got that mindset of just taking it one game at a time and focus on one task at a time.
Although, Caleb, I got to say, in your case, at least people will probably remind you North Carolina's in that bracket. I mean, how does that hit you? And do you shut it out? What do you do?
Yeah, I'm not really focused on them. I'm focused on us. Like I said, we focus on Long Beach State.
Caleb, how would you describe the last three games for you from an individual standpoint? I know that you always want to put the team first, but that did include a couple losses. But just from yourself, is there something that has just not worked well for you?
Yeah, I wasn't really in a rhythm, but like I said, this it happens. You go through a little stress, but I've been playing long enough, and I've been through a lot of experiences of ups and downs, and so I think I just want to put that behind me, and got that reset button, and I'm ready to go for March Madness.
Does it happen often, and if it does, how do you get out of it? Just more shots?
Just keep your confidence high. I think and then just focus in a little bit more on the techniques of what got me here as far as the putting in the work, focusing in on the little things. Maybe if my elbow isn't high enough or I'm not holding my form long enough, something like that. Just kind of focusing on the little things, and I'll be, like I said, I'll be ready to go.
Do you go back and watch those last three, like Brian said, or do you just say, okay, this is what I need to do?
No, not really. I watched it, but I think you watch more of the good clips of what I was doing to make me succeed, and I've been doing that with Rim a lot, and he's just been showing me a lot of clips of what was working and what had me going. So, like I said, I think it's kind of good that I went through that. And now I can hit the reset button and be ready to go.
I think Andy Enfield said something about how they really went after you and tried to take even your drives away. I mean, were there certain things you noticed even last week in the tournament against SC again or Oregon that maybe teams hadn't tried against you before?
Yeah, they just try to, like I said, take me out of rhythm, and then, just kind of, probably try to make me take tougher shots, and, I got to move more without the ball. I got to get an offensive rebound. I got to get out in transition to get myself going, something like that. I got to find a catch and shoot or something like that. So just playing off my teammates, playing still within the system, but, still contributing in other ways as far as, playing defense, rebounding, being active on a defensive end and things like that.
Anything else outside of basketball? You change your routine up when you're going through kind of an uncharacteristic?
Yeah, I gotta get more rest. I think that's been a major key of me playing great basketball is just getting my rest and sticking to certain routines that I stick to.
What do you remember from last year, your run with San Diego State? Just like, was there a game during that where it almost didn't go your way, and then next thing you know, you guys are in the championship? Like something that stands out from that?
The closest game, pretty much we had, of course, the FAU game, but the Creighton game. Creighton game where we won with Darion Tramel's clutch free throws, you know. But even throughout the journey getting there, it wasn't never a time where we felt down like this might not be our game. Cause you don't got no time to think like that, you know. We was just fighting each and every possession, you know. Even if it wasn't like our leading scorer, Matt Bradley game, like he would still contribute some other way on getting a charge or something like that. A lot of times it was either me or him guarding the other team's best player. So you know, we were just trying to find any way to win. You know, you can't really control like putting the ball in the hoop all the time. You know, so you just got to be able to try to get deflection, try to help your team win in any which way.
On that note, what's the importance of having the urgency this week as opposed to really any other week of practice? You know, last year you did it and then went and played 7 games in the tournament.
It's really one game at a time. Like you can't look forward. We know if we win this game, who we'll probably play next, but can't worry about none of that. You know, you gotta just study your film. We got Long Beach State coming up next, so we just gotta learn their tendencies, stick to our game plan, and just find something that'll work and stick to it. We can't look no further than that. We just gotta take it one game at a time, one play at a time.
Last year, one of the big criticisms, 2 years maybe, is the team hasn't been tough enough. And here you are to help with that. Do you feel that? And is there kind of maybe some lean on your shoulders to get that done?
I mean, I can't really speak on last year's team, but you look up here at me and Caleb Love, tough is never a question between us, you know. I feel like we're the toughest dudes in the country, you know. It's not really just about being the strongest, it's just about having a heart. And right now, I know I could lean on him. I know he could lean on me. You look at everybody else on our roster, it's there. The toughness is there.
You feel like, does it compare to what you saw with San Diego State last year as far as that maybe you see that resiliency, toughness in this team?
For sure. There's similarities and differences between both teams, but this team right here, we got exactly what it takes, just as well as we did last year. Last year we didn't know. You never know until you make it, but we fought to put our name in the national championship game, and this year we're gonna do the same thing.
How important is it to set the tone early in these types of games? Caleb and Keshad, you both have played in these types of matchups where you're the heavy favorite, but you've seen underdogs kind of stay with the game, and then all of a sudden, last 5 minutes, that's where they make their run. How important is it to set the tone early in these types of matchups?
I think it's very important. You know, just kind of putting your stamp on the game, and you know, you can't take no team lightly in the March Madness. You know, any team could be beaten. So you know, we definitely going into each game locked and loaded, and you know, focused, watching a lot of film, and like you said, you know, it's definitely important to, you know, kind of put your foot on the gas right away.
You guys handled the mountain road trip extremely well, even after a triple overtime game at Utah. You guys went to Colorado 2 nights later and, you know, beat the doors off them. I mean, how does that experience, that road trip, that road swing, and what it takes to take care of your bodies in that situation, how does that experience help you going into this week?
I think it helps because, you know, it kind of gives us more confidence going into this game, into these games, and because, you know, we've been through it, and, you know, just playing that just gives us a little bit more experience on, you know, how it might go. So I think we're definitely going to be ready, and you know, like I said, we just take it one game at a time, man. Like, you know, it's very important to do that. Stay where your feet are. You know, like, and you know, I think we're definitely got a lot of dudes that's ready.
Can you just talk about Keshad's increased three-point shooting over the last couple of games, hit 4 against USC? How does that help the flow of the offense, or how has that been?
It helps very much. You know, he's put in so much work, and I think, you know, I see him work out every day, day in and day out, and so it doesn't really surprise me because, you know, he's been doing this, and, you know, he has a lot of confidence in himself, and we have a lot of confidence in him. So each time, you know, he shoots the ball, it's got a great chance of going in. So, but he's been doing that all year, you know. So I feel like, you know, it definitely helps our offense because, you know, you can't really help off of him. He's gonna knock it down, but if you close out on him, he's gonna put it on your head. So it's definitely a big thing with our offense.
You guys have Salt Lake, potentially LA, potentially Phoenix. I mean, there's going to be a lot of red and blue fans out at each location. How much of an advantage is it for you guys to be, you know, playing out west and to have fans travel like they do?
Man, no matter where we'd be, we'll have a lot of red and blue in the crowd. That's not none of our worries. They travel well to Indiana. Of course, Purdue had a great crowd there too, but they travel well there, so we know they're gonna have our back. But just being on the West Coast, like you heard the U of A chants when we was like everywhere, especially here in Vegas. Call that McKell North, and we know they're gonna carry on with us, no matter what happened, win, lose or draw. So they're gonna be in our backyard for sure.
How does it help being mostly senior lineup, mostly kind of, this is it for you guys? How does that help?
It helps a lot. Me, Caleb, and Omar, we all been in that championship atmosphere. We know what it takes. Pella, one of the smartest players, college players ever, in the world. He could do all things. And then Colin Boswell, who's really just a diamond in the rough, who's probably I would say the most impactful freshman. Not freshman, but 18-year-old in college basketball.
You talked about the FAU Creighton game, but you also have, what was it, Charleston, right, in the first round?
Yes, sir.
A pretty close game, right? Like,
Yes, sir.
what was that like? And was that I'm just wondering, because it seems like if every team that gets the Final Four, there's always that one scare somewhere along the way. You guys had a bunch of them. I didn't know, what was your guys' reaction? Did that change anything? Or, you're talking about how tough that team was. Did that kind of help in a way?
With Charleston, we knew they was like a scrappy team. We know they go for all types of rebounds, and rebounding come big in March. So we did our studying. Shout out to the scout team at San Diego State. They was trying to get us ready. We was pounding every day in practice, getting ready for that game. So it really just all depends on how much you prepare for your opponents and how much you know about your opponents. Along with the faith and the luck and just the health of the team and everything like that. Right now we have a healthy team, and we just know we got a lot to fight for. This being my last year in college, I know I'm gonna give it my all, and I know my brother's gonna give me their all.
In March, the tournament kind of comes down to guard play, defense, and the whole nine, and guys that aren't afraid of the big moment to take the big shot, no matter how tight the situation is. You have one of those guys in Caleb Love that took that shot for you guys day in and day out. Can you talk about his growth this season and having a guy like that come March, what that means for this team?
Everybody know who Caleb Love is. Everybody seen him do it, and we trust him. We got the utmost respect for him and everything. Game come on the line. Nobody have a problem giving Caleb Love the ball. And if that's not there, we also have Colin Boswell, who's one of the best shooters in the country. If that's not there, Pella Larson. He got the heart of a lion. If that's not there, Big O. He's one of the biggest players in the world, most dominant. Like he's like Shaq in college basketball. So we got weapons all around. Not forgetting the bench, could go all throughout the bench of players that can hit a great shot. But Caleb Love, we all know who Caleb Love is. We all know what he did in his college career. So this one of our go-to guys, and we got a heavy load behind him.
How is your confidence right now?
Extremely high. Obviously, I think that this team kind of feeds off my energy, and going into these games, I think I'm definitely going to be a confidence builder between my team, and just constantly giving them encouragement and building them up as much as I can. Because I think sometimes we forget that we all need help sometimes. We all might go through a slump, or we might be going through something maybe that's on the court or off the court. So I'm gonna be constantly giving my teammates confidence, building them up, energy, making them smile throughout this time.
That March run a couple of years ago, you did that for your teammates at Carolina, and I think a lot of people remember that as one of the greatest March Madness runs ever. What did you capture there? How did that shape you as a player to those few weeks in March?
It just kind of going through that experience. It just it showed how much what March really is all about. When you get in those moments, you get in those games where you do need a big shot, or you do need big stops, big plays out of your team. I think it shows how much of a what type of team you are when you're in those tight moments. But it's just what March is all about. March is about crazy buzzer beaters and guys going for 30 and things like that. And then you got, the crazy ones where, you just need somebody to step up. And so I feel like, we got a great team ahead of us, and, we got another journey to go on.
Obviously, you had a great game against Duke in that semifinal. Were you already comfortable in that kind of scenario and taking big shots, or do you think that tournament kind of brought your confidence to a different level?
I mean, I kind of been doing that all my life, just growing up. And my dad kind of helped me with that. My mom, they kind of just, I was never really afraid of the moment. And so it just kind of, hiding it in the tournament and just doing that on that big stage. I had all my family there. And, it was a big moment for me. But, I'm ready, to make more memories with my teammates this year.
What was that run? What was the key to that run for you guys? Would you say overall? And you had a scare, overtime second round or something like that? I think it was.
Yeah, Baylor. Yeah, I fouled out that game.
Was that a key to getting through that somehow, or what was the key to that team?
I think we just needed to lean on each other. It was I think we blew Marquette out the first round. Second round we had Baylor. I fouled out. I had like 5 points fouled out with like 10 minutes to go. Brady Manick, he was a big name in March 2 years ago. He had 28 points with like 12 minutes to go, and he got ejected. So we was playing guys. We only played like 5, 6, 7 guys that year, and so we had guys that had to step up. And John Styles, Justin McCoy, Puff Johnson, they all stepped up. So that's what you need in March. When it matters. So I think they wasn't afraid of the moment, and we needed them guys to step up, and that's exactly what they did. So I just feel like you just gotta lean on each other more than ever in these kind of games.
You get to the championship or semis, and Krzyzewski's retiring. It could be his last game. It was his last game. Semifinals, Final Four, what a huge moment. I mean, like, how did it feel in that stage, and were you nervous or anything, even despite what you're saying, or was it just like another game?
I think it was more of an excitement, nervous, not really like scared of the moment, but I think we all were juiced up, just knowing how what type of game that was, the magnitude of that game, and we was kind of like, this is like that game will forever go down in history. So I think we was definitely ready, and obviously it being Duke, I think it was the first time it ever happened in a tournament. So with national championship berth on the line, it was definitely a great experience, and we definitely wanted to get that game.
Two more questions.
For either of you, have you ever sat back and thought how strange it is that you both played in front of about 70,000 fans for these Final Four games, and that you have someone like a LeBron who didn't play in college, has never played before more than 25,000. Is that surreal to think that you've played in front of such a large crowd?
Most definitely. Me and him talk about it all the time. All the time when we get into our one-on-one conversations, we just saying like we really beat the odds already. We already won. Coming here, getting a chance to even be in college, really, let alone play on a national championship stage. So we know there's a lot of NBA greats that never been there. So, we just cherish the moment, and like God brought me and him together for a reason. So we just gotta cherish the moments and give it our all.
Is there a certain mentality that you have just going against Long Beach State? They're not like Arizona's probably more expected to win this game, just not getting too ahead of yourselves within this game. Not saying like looking ahead, but more so just in this game overall.
It's not really just the mentality you go into the game with. It's just knowing that this could be your last game. Like, this can be my last game of college basketball, so give it my all. In March, you got to give every game your all, because anything could happen. You can't worry about the seed, and you can't worry about the history of a program or nothing like that. We know it's a lot of Cinderella stories that happen throughout the history of March, so we don't want to fall on the other end of that, no matter who we playing, whether it's the number 1 seed or the 16, so we just got to go in there and give it our all.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.